Okay, the next thing you have to do is put your super glue away. You can store it in a cold place and sit it upright. Doesn't even have to be a cold place. Anyway, forget that. You've got this working, you can put this away for now and get a piece of paper out. Once you get your piece of paper out, what you're going to do... Hang on, I'll get a... Yeah, this one will be a bit better. And I'll use a receipt. Yeah, a receipt would work. Piece of paper. Draw a rectangle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, just draw a kind of rectangle on there, on your piece of paper, and get your, what you have so far of your hidden blade and a ruler. I suggest one of the rulers a big metal ruler, because the way they measure, they sort of have like no gap. Have a look at some rulers there's a gap before they measure, but anyway. All you have to do is measure across, and the distance. Now I'm going to get a marker. I'm going to colour in this bit. This should make it a little bit easier for everyone to see. It should. Hope I don't make it too difficult. Now look, what I've just done is by drawing that on there, you can see it a little bit clearer. From there to there are the pieces where, do you know how the blade can slide in underneath those pieces? Then there's the space where it can sit on top of those pieces as well. Alright, that's the that's that space. So what you want to do is that you've got like the top two pieces, there's that little ridge that I've coloured in black. You want to measure the distance between just the very inside, like that piece there to that piece there. So all you have to do is stick the ruler in, like, and look, mine is about 2.5 centimeters across. 2.5 centimeters from that space there to that space right there. Alright, so what you do is get your piece of paper and on down here, right, whatever it was, so 2.5 centimeters for me, just on that bottom section. And then from this bit, you've got that written down. Now you have to measure the distance. Well, first off, check that if you push one lock in, measure the end at the end of the lock to the end of the base, the end of your hidden blade piece so far. So mine's about 2.5 centimeters. Cool. And measure the other end, 2.5 centimeters. So the distance between the end of each lock is the same for me. So if you push the lock in on both ends, the distance there and there is the same. So you have to measure. Let me remember this for a second. Measure this section. How long is this piece? The entire length of this whole piece. Measure it. So mine's 20.5, so 25 millimeters. 20.5 centimeters. So 25, or is it? Hang on. It's 200. God, I'm just confusing myself. I'll just say 20.5 centimeters. 20.5 centimeters. That's settled. So up on your piece of paper, right? So yours might be like 19 centimeters or something like that. Whatever I'm saying, like the length from mine there to there is 20.5 centimeters. So I'll write 20.5 centimeters. And then you have to minus the distance between the end of the lock to the end of the base, which is 2.5 centimeters for me. Alright? So then you go minus 2.5 centimeters, 20.5 centimeters, and like yours might be different and everything like that, so it doesn't really matter what yours is. So mine's going to equal 18, so I'll quickly check to see if I'm correct. Yeah, so that will equal 18 centimeters for me. It might equal something else for you, so just rewind that if you haven't got that yet. So mine equals 18, yours might equal something different, but that doesn't matter. So whatever your end number is, you write it on the side of this. So you write down 18. Now you've got your basic idea for this. You're going to have to cut out a piece of plastic that is 18, like I'm just saying what my numbers were, you change it for whatever your numbers. 18 centimeters long and 2.5 centimeters like across. Did you get that? So I'll quickly, do you want to draw on this? No, I sort of need that piece, but yeah. So mine will be 18, so I've got my piece of plastic here. It's going to have to be that, like this way, up and down there is going to have to be 18, and then across is going to have to be 2.5 centimeters. You get that? Now I'm going to cut out that, I'll actually measure it out first and I'll show you. All right, now keep in mind I don't have any plastic left, so I'm using wood. I've already got one cut out though, so it doesn't matter. So you just use plastic. I'm using wood just to show you, because wood's cheaper than plastic. You're going to, depending on however long your measurements are, so we'll start off by saying it's 18 centimeters long. So you put your ruler up to the corner of the plastic or wherever it is, and mark exactly where 18 is. Put a little dot there. You'll barely even be able to see that, so I'll go 18's right there. And up here, you're going to rule how far, 2.5 centimeters. Right, about there. All right, so I'll just make sure I'm correct. Yep, perfect. So now you just mark it there. So you've got a line here and a line there. Make sure you do it like correctly and square. Make sure this whole thing is a perfect rectangle, as close to perfect as you can. Ruled out 18 centimeters from that mark. Alright. Look, now I've got that piece cut out. I just made that piece. Then what you're going to have to do is, carefully as you can, or whatever method you're using, cut this out and cut it out so you can't see any black lines. So you want you don't want any black lines. Black lines are bad. Don't have black lines, all right? Not being racist. Yeah, anyway, now look. What you need to do is cut that section out, and then as carefully as you can, cut it out using, I suggest a scroll saw. And remember that this is out of wood, but yours will be out of plastic. I'm just doing an example. So I'm going to cut this out, you do the same. All right?